Well, hi guys, Mark here. We're here today at Ducati Bournemouth, and today we're going to be taking out the awesome Ducati Hypermotard 698. Stay tuned and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Well, hi guys, Mark here. Welcome today to a review on the awesome Ducati Hypermotard 698 Mono. And again, many thanks to Ducati Bournemouth for lending me this bike today. So we'll just run through all the specifications and then we'll take it for a test ride and then a final thoughts at the end. So this is the RVE model, which is sort of like the higher spec, shall we say. This is coming in at £11,895. What you get for that is, over the base model, is this stunning colour scheme, and also it has an up and down quick shifter. The base model, which basically is just red, comes in at £10,995, and that doesn't have the quick shifter. So star of the show on this bike is this motor. Absolutely stunning performance. 659cc single cylinder liquid cooled. It can be made to an A2 license power output. It's the highest revving engine in its category. Rev limit is at 10,250 RPM, so it's super high revving for a single cylinder. Power is 77.5 horsepower at 9,750 RPM, and torque is a very strong 63 Newton meters at 8,000 RPM. It's got a 12 litre fuel tank on this. Should get around 45-50 to the gallon, I would have thought. So range is going to be round about 100-120 miles, something like that. Tyres are Pirelli Diablo Rosso. Got a 120 on the front and a 160 on the rear. Being a sort of super motard style bike, it's very light. This weighs in at 151 kilograms wet. That's with no fuel in it. Now, it's a very tall machine. This is a standard seat. It's coming in at 904mm seat height. It's very comfortable to ride, very nice seat indeed. You can get lower options. There's a low seat that brings it down to 889mm, or a low seat plus the lower suspension kit, which brings it down to a bit more reasonable 849mm. So do bear that in mind with this bike. Just take a quick look at me on this. As a reference, I'm 5'7" tall, 170 centimeters. I weigh about 75 kilos, and you can just take a look at me and then you can compare that for yourself. So just working around the bike, we've got LEDs, Marzocchi upside down forks, fully adjustable, a Sachs rear shock tucked up in there, single disc on the front with incredible stopping power. It's a Brembo M432 caliper with absolutely amazing stopping power. But where this bike really shines is its electronics package. It's got one of the best in the business. It's got cornering ABS with 4 levels, so you can sort of slide it if you want to. It's got wheelie control. You can also get an optional wheelie assist, which helps even more with wheelies. It's got 4 riding modes: sport, road, urban and wet, 6-axis IMU, traction control. As I said, on this particular model, you've got the up and down quick shifter, which is super slick. Service intervals on this are very good indeed. 15,000 kilometers, 9,000 miles services. Or the Desmo service for the valves is at 30,000 kilometers, which is about 18,500 miles. So just looking around the bike, guys, the attention to detail, the quality is absolutely superb on this. It's a stunning bike to ride. So anyway, let's do this test ride. Hypermotard 698. Let's try this. So this is a tall machine. I'm absolutely on tiptoes, being 5'7" with a 30-inch leg, but I'm cool with that because it's a very light machine. The suspension does sink down quite a bit, but you can get a lower seat and a lower suspension kit for this. So when you sit aboard this bike, you sit very high on it. Big wide bars. It feels exceptionally light. That's superb. So just run through all the controls. Hydraulic clutch, which is a slipper clutch as well. You've got your headlight flasher, high and low beam, menu scroll, you've got your mode button and enter and select, horn. Over this side, span adjustable Brembo brakes on this. Got your engine start, daytime running lights and hazards. So we'll just turn it on. So very sort of minimalist sort of looking display there. Lots of information. You've got all your settings, temperature, traction control, wheelie control, ABS, total. So as you can see there, lots of information there. You can just go into the different modes and just scroll up and down: sport, road, urban or wet, whatever you want to do. Keep it in sport for now. And so away we go. Let's start this up. So you've got that lovely sounding single cylinder, but obviously this would sound phenomenal with Termagnonis on it. So but it still sounds good as standard. So easily into first gear and away we go. So very light, very smooth off the bottom end. So brilliant quick shifter on this, super slick up and down, and it makes a fabulous noise when you give it the beans. So straight off, what you find with this bike is it's got a very tractable, very soft, shall we say, sort of bottom end, sort of 1 to about 5,000 RPM. It's very gentle. It's very much a Jekyll and Hyde bike, this. It loves to rev. It really loves to be ridden hard. Just going down the git box now on the quick shifter, very slick. But when you open this up, it absolutely flies. Like this. Oh, wow. Okay, let's just run through the bike. Mirrors, nice big units, very clear. This being a single cylinder engine, it's very smooth. You know, I'm just cruising along now, about 5,000 revs. I can just feel a little bit of a power pulse coming through the pegs, but nothing more than that. It's a very smooth engine. Just try this front brake out. Oh my god, that's so powerful. Literally over the front performance from that Brembo single disc on the front there. Oh, this is such a giggle machine, it really is. It's just so light in the handling, and those Pirelli tyres are super grippy. just attacks corners so well. Back brake's got a good bit of bite to it as well. But what I mean about this engine is, if we just go down to fourth, just cruising along like this, it's very, very gentle, very chilled. But if you cog it down one and open it up, once those revs approach the top, it really does get a shift on. Super good fun to attack the corners. Oh, what a laugh. Steering feels very light, the whole bike feels very light, feels exceptionally well put together, a real air of quality about the rides to it. Down to fourth, just open it up, you can see it's extremely tractable. So whereas like with say the KTM and the Husqvarna, you know, they're quite punchy at low revs, this one's a bit more gentle at low revs and then comes alive in the mid-range and then really makes a charge for the red line. Second gear, just winding it out. Yeah, definitely the harder you ride this, the better it feels. So, you know, obviously being a motard style, you're right up in the wind blast, so you are having to hang on a bit. Right, I'll just let you hear this wonderful engine. So I've currently got it in sport mode, which is like the sharpest response. I have tried it in road and urban and they're just softer throttles. That quick shifter works so smoothly, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, if you're looking for a bike which is just pure fun and nothing else really, these are definitely worth taking a look at. Right, so far the Hypermotard 698 has proved to be absolutely bonkers fun. It's absolutely hilarious to ride. But on a more gentle note, let's just cruise now on it. Top gear now, 4,000 revs. Very, very civilised indeed. If I open it up in top, it pulls very strongly, and obviously once the revs get to about sort of 5,000-6,000, it really starts to fly. But just cruising along now at 60, wind blast is totally acceptable. It's nice, this bike is so light, changes direction so easily, the tyres feel super grippy, brakes are absolutely eye-popping. And you know, that engine presence is always there. You know, 77 horsepower, but you know, when you open this thing up, it really does start to shift. Now, we will try it on a dual carriageway in a while, and we'll take it through town as well. So what's the Hypermotard like in town at the lower speeds? So I've still got it in sport mode. I have tried the other modes, you know, road and urban. They're just a little bit more mellow on the throttle, a bit softer throttle. But even in sport mode, it's not overly sharp on the throttle. It's very well fueled. Purring along here, second gear, exceptionally light clutch, light gearbox. It's just a joy to snick up and down. Because the bike's so light, it's very easy to manage at low speeds. Nice bit of pull from low down. Very, very good response. So there we go. Look, we're just crawling along at 30 in third. Just pop it into fourth gear. Still taking fourth gear. It's about 40 mile an hour now. Still very, very smooth for a single. It's truly remarkable. Normally bigger singles can bang and chug away at low revs, but this is super refined, really refined. So there you go, guys. The Hypermotard at the lower speeds is very docile indeed. So what's the Hypermotard like at the slightly higher speeds on a dual carriageway? So 70 mile an hour now, 5,500 revs. Very, very smooth engine. Still loads of power in reserve. Just going to clog it down to fifth. Revs are up about 6,000 now. Very, very impressively smooth engine. But the bike is very light. It's quite windy today coming from my left, but still feels pretty stable. But when you open it up, it still goes. I mean, this is not really a high-speed touring cruising bike really, but if you had to do this sort of thing for an hour or so, absolutely no problem at all. This bike's taking it in its stride, so all good at the slightly higher speeds. So what's the suspension like on the Hypermotard? Very, very compliant. This is super bumpy down this road and it's just floating over. Obviously it's a supermoto style bike, so you've got lots of suspension travel. So they do make very, very good day-to-day road bikes. Very nice suspension up front, and the rear is very compliant as well. But to kind of sum up this bike, it's quite simple really. It's one word: fun, and lots of it. You could definitely use it as an everyday bike, but it's just one of those bikes that the harder you ride it, the better it seems to feel. It's got a very sort of soft, gentle side to it, low down, but then when you know, cog it down a bit and open it up, it absolutely flies. Alright, let's have a final look round it, shall we? This should be fine here. So what's it like into neutral? There's your first and there's your neutral, very easy. Just leave the indicators in the high beam for you. Little sound check. Big old side stand. So that's currently on your high beam. So there we are, guys. Hypermotard. So off the side stand, as you'd expect, it's very, very light indeed, and it's super easy to maneuver. So that's all good. Light machine with big power equals good fun. So anyway, let's take a look around this awesome bit of kit. So first off, you know, the build quality, you know, it's Ducati, it looks brilliant. I can't see anywhere that doesn't look sort of pleasing to the eye. All the welds, the paintwork, everything looks, the fit and finish is absolutely top notch. These front forks, really, really compliant, lots of travel there, superb bump management, so they're great. Pirelli Diablo tyres, super sticky, excellent. Paintwork, really nice, no nasty stickers or anything like that. Comfortable seat, very tall, but it can be lowered a bit, so good in that respect, it's very comfortable. Absolutely crazy barking mad engine, super smooth, very, very potent at the higher revs, but still tractable low down. That quick shifter is absolutely phenomenal, up and down the box, super slick, under load, shutting the throttle, down the gears, absolutely superb. Front Brembo M432 is eye-popping, so all you need there, definitely doesn't need twin discs on this, very powerful indeed. So there you have it guys, Ducati Hypermotard 698. What are your thoughts? If you don't mind posting your comments down below please. Don't forget to give me a like, share and subscribe as always, and I will catch you again in a week or so for another two-wheeled review. Take care, ride safe, all the best and bye for now.